Family, gather around, because today we are diving into yet another powerful reminder of who Prince Harry really is. The man behind the headlines, the father, the husband, the friend, and the compassionate soul who has never lost his humanity despite everything that's been thrown at him. And this comes straight from someone who has known Harry personally for years, the award-winning British singer Joss Stone. She crossed paths with Harry recently at the WellChild Awards, and let me tell you, her words absolutely crush the false narratives tabloids have been trying to spin for years. Now, the British media loves to paint Harry as some distant, angry, bitter man who supposedly has turned his back on his homeland. They want you to believe that he's isolated, bitter and detached. But when people who actually know him, who have spoken to him, laughed with him, and seen him interact with children and friends, when those people speak, the truth comes out. And the truth is that Harry is warm, genuine, funny, and above all, deeply interested in others. At the WellChild Awards, Joss Stone says it was really sweet to see Harry again after so many years. She's not exaggerating. These are two people with real history. Joss performed at the concert for Diana in 2007. She was at Harry and Meghan's wedding in 2018, and she served as an ambassador for Harry's charity Centre. Their friendship is rooted in shared causes, in music, in service. So when they reunited, it wasn't just a polite hello. It was a natural, warm and easy connection. She revealed that Harry was joking about her having 4 children, saying it's too many. Classic Harry humour. That quick wit, that cheeky charm. People forget that this is the same Harry who made soldiers laugh in the middle of the Afghan desert, the same Harry who brings joy to sick children at hospital visits, the same Harry who knows how to lighten up a heavy moment with a bit of humour. He hasn't lost that sparkle. But what really stands out here, and what Joss herself highlighted, is that Harry wasn't just making jokes. He was genuinely interested in her move back to the UK. He asked about how her family was settling in. He wanted to know how her children were adjusting. This is a man who doesn't do small talk. He listens, he cares, and he engages deeply with the people around him. Joss said it herself. He's just very warm and down to earth, as always. That's the Prince Harry people who actually meet him always talk about. Now here's the kicker. Harry and Joss Stone didn't just talk about parenting and settling in. They talked about schools, community and raising children in a safe, supportive environment. Harry made a point of saying how wonderful the schools in the UK are and how important community is for children. He knows the value of that sense of belonging because he had it when his mother, Princess Diana, fought to give it to him and William, despite the coldness of the institution they were raised in. He knows how important it is because he wants the same for Archie and Lilibet. And yet, here's where the hypocrisy of the British press comes in. The same tabloids who are quick to blast Harry for not bringing his children to the UK are the same ones who supported stripping away his security. Harry has been very clear. He does not feel safe bringing his wife and children into a country where their security is not guaranteed. He fought for it in court, and the court sided against him. Imagine being a father, knowing there are credible threats against your family, knowing the same paparazzi who chased your mother to her death still stalk you and your wife, and being told, you're on your own. No decent father would take that risk. Harry put it plainly. I can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back to the UK at this point. That is not abandonment. That is responsible parenting. And yet, despite that pain, despite the sadness he expressed about not being able to show Archie and Lily his homeland, Harry still keeps the door open. After his recent visit, which included reconnecting with King Charles, he admitted the idea of bringing his family back feels closer. Notice what that says about Harry. He isn't bitter. He isn't shutting the door forever. He's hopeful. He's keeping the possibility alive, because he wants that connection for his children. That is love. That is resilience. That is maturity. Joss Stone's testimony about Harry completely destroys the caricature the tabloids keep trying to push. Here we have a woman with no reason to lie, with no agenda, simply sharing what she experienced. Harry being warm, interested, funny, down to earth and deeply concerned about family and children, and yet The same tabloids who will run 10 stories in a single day demonizing Meghan for daring to breathe will conveniently downplay this story or twist it to imply that Harry secretly wants to run back to the UK. Let me tell you something, family. If Harry does bring his children back for visits in the future, it will not be because he's crawling back to an institution that rejected and scapegoated him. It will be because he wants his children to know their roots. It will be because he, as a father, wants to show them where he came from, where their grandmother Diana made history, and where he served his people for decades. That's legacy, not capitulation. And speaking of legacy, let's not forget the significance of where this reunion with Joss Stone took place, the WellChild Awards. Harry has been patron of WellChild for years, long before he stepped back from royal duties. This is not a man who abandoned his commitments. This is a man who continues to show up for sick children, for families in need, for causes that matter. The British press wants you to believe he's only about Hollywood deals and celebrity life. But when you strip away the noise, Harry is still there, sitting with families, listening to children with life-threatening conditions, comforting parents, and shining a light on people who need it most. That is service, that is commitment. That is what Diana would be proud of. Meanwhile, let's talk about the other side for a moment. Where are the critics when Harry's compassion shines through? Silent. Where are the tabloids when someone praises Harry's kindness? Quiet. Because they know that their business model thrives on hate. They know that uplifting Harry and Meghan doesn't sell papers or generate clicks for their toxic websites. That's why they prefer to invent stories, like claiming Meghan is jealous of Kate, or that Harry is miserable in California. Lies. Absolute lies. The truth is, Harry and Meghan have built a life rooted in love, safety and purpose. Meghan is thriving with her brand, her projects and her philanthropy. Harry is thriving through Invictus, through his charities, and through being a hands-on dad. Together they are raising 2 beautiful children in a home full of warmth, not cold duty. That's the life they chose, and that's the life they're entitled to. So, when Joss Stone, someone who has known Harry for nearly 2 decades, says he is warm, down to earth and genuinely interested in her life, believe her. That is the real Harry, not the tabloid invention, not the caricature created by bitter royal reporters, not the figure they use as a punching bag to protect the image of others. The real Harry is compassionate, grounded and deeply human. And to the haters, let me just say this. Every time you try to demonize Harry, stories like this will come out and prove you wrong. Every time you try to paint Meghan as controlling or Harry as lost, real-life testimonies will surface showing that this couple is thriving, that Harry is still his mother's son, and that Meghan has been his rock through it all. Family, as always, let's support Harry and Meghan by amplifying the truth. They don't need us to fight every lie, but they do need us to keep shining a light on the reality of their character, their work, and their humanity. Joss Stone says Prince Harry was genuinely interested in her move back to the UK, and they talked schools. The old friends crossed paths at the WellChild Awards during the Duke of Sussex's recent trip to his home country. Joss Stone shared that she recently caught up with Prince Harry at the WellChild Awards, where they talked about her family's recent return to the UK. The English singer, who previously lived in the US, said he asked about how we were settling back in and was genuinely interested in our move home. The Duke of Sussex has been open about his security concerns, preventing him from bringing his children back to his home country. Prince Harry and Joss Stone recently caught up at the WellChild Awards, where the singer revealed they talked about her move back to the UK. Stone, 38, told Hello that it was really sweet to see the Duke of Sussex, 41, after all these years, at the event, which was part of Harry's return trip to the UK earlier this month. There Prince Harry met the English singer's newborn daughter, Nalima, and chatted about parenting. He joked about me having 4 children, saying it's too many, or maybe it wasn't a joke. Stone, who attended Harry and Meghan Markle's 2018 wedding, told the outlet the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are parents to a 6-year-old son, Prince Archie, and a 4-year-old daughter, Princess Lilibet. And they've made it clear that they aren't growing their family anymore. He told Dr. Jane Goodall in a 2019 issue of British Vogue that they would have 2 maximum. Stone, who was previously an ambassador for Prince Harry's former charity, Centre Bali, and also performed at the 2007 concert for Diana in honour of his mother, also shared that the Duke of Sussex inquired about her family's recent move back to the UK after living in the US. He also asked about how we were settling back in and was genuinely interested in our move home. He's just very warm and down to earth, as always. Maybe Harry will move back too. That would be nice, she said. He was saying how wonderful the schools are here and how important community is for children, the singer added. It was nice to share that with him because it's exactly why we felt drawn to come back. For the kids to grow up surrounded by family, friends, and a strong sense of belonging, and most importantly, in a safe environment. Prince Harry and Meghan relocated to her home state of California in 2020 after they stepped back as working members of the royal family. They were also stripped of their state-funded security, a case he fought in court and lost. Harry said in the legal case to reinstate the protection that he does not feel safe bringing his family to his home country. Speaking with the BBC on May 2nd after the court decision, he said, "I can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back to the UK at this point. I miss the UK. I miss parts of the UK. Of course I do," he added. "I think that it's really quite sad that I won't be able to show my children my homeland." But after this most recent visit to his home country, which included a reunion with King Charles, Harry told The Guardian, the trip brought the idea of bringing his family back closer. And before we close, I want to encourage you, if you're watching this, and you believe in the mission of the Royal Sussex Squad, if you want to uplift Harry and Meghan and keep countering the lies, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can always drop a super thanks. Every bit helps us keep this platform strong, independent, and dedicated to the truth. Prince Harry remains the people's prince, a compassionate leader, and above all, a devoted husband and father, and that is what will stand the test of time. Not the lies, not the noise, but the legacy of love and service he continues to build.